your Sly Snide tour guide, Beach Llama. Follow the magic stick.
Hey beautiful people, it's your favorite tour guide Beach Llama, and in today's episode of Sly and Snide Tour Guide, we're gonna be talking about Thanksgiving Aruban style. To be more precise, we're going to delve into Dia di San Juan and the tradition of Dera Gay. Mind you, we will be oversimplifying certain aspects for time constraints and information retention purposes. So pack that sunscreen shade and bowl and onward we go. Follow the magic stick. The feast of St. John the Baptist is celebrated the world over by any culture that's been saved by Christianity, either on the eve of St. John's Day on the 23rd of June or on the 24th, the official date of the Christian celebration of his nativity. It's a juxtaposition between organized religion and animist or pagan traditions, customs, or rituals. The bonfire, the entrancing music and accompanying dances, the symbolic colors, costumes, and attires, the Thanksgiving rituals with offerings of flora and fauna. To the global north is a celebration of the summer solstice. To the global south, especially in rural areas, it marks the end of the harvest or bountiful season. Now, to explain the Aruban customs and tradition displayed on that day, we need to step into the shoes of a kunukero and go through the harvesting process and practices as it pertains to the season. In Aruba, the harvest season actually starts in February or March. The sorghum or maize is reaped and left to cure for 3 weeks. After the peeling process is completed and the cobs are separated from the stalks, the harvest is placed in a sheaf. The sheafing happens in the presence of the tambu drum resonating the rhythm that coincides with it, while the kunukeros chant the accompanying lyrics of the songs of the wind. What follows is what we call the journey home, where the harvest is taken to the barn for storage. The arrival of the harvest is heralded by the fanfare of the great tambu rhythms and lyrics that correspond with the greeting of the harvest. April and May marks the preparation for the rainy season. The Kunuku garden gets its last maintenance touches and the makeshift dams are secured to hold enough water for the sowing season, which leads us to the month of June. On the 24th of June, St. John's Day, around or nearing sunset, all the accumulated stocks of the harvest from February and March and the other biodegradable waste gathered in April and May during the Kunuku maintenance is then set ablaze. By doing so, thanks is given for the harvest while we prepare for the next season. Another rather peculiar tradition or custom for our St. John's Day is called Dera Gay. This translates to burying of the rooster. An accurate description would probably be blindfolded whack-a-mole with a rooster as the prize. Mind you that there are slight differences here and there depending on the area and neighborhood, but for the most part, the ritual or dance goes as follows. A live rooster is placed in a hole in the ground that's big enough and deep enough to be covered with a calabash gourd which is somewhat level to the ground. A tiny hole in the calabash will allow the rooster to breathe and move its neck in the hollow shell. Then blindfolded men would be spun around to get them a bit disoriented and then left to find and break the calabash with a stick while they dance to the music and the chants of Dera Gay in the background. They get 3 chances to break the calabash and the winner takes the rooster home as a prize. Now, there might have been some instances where the rooster might have accidentally, lost its cluck. But for the most part, he would survive and leave with the victor. Contrary to popular belief, the rooster is usually not killed, let alone decapitated. I don't know where they heard that one from. But why a rooster? Because according to research, it had something to do with fertility. Maybe fertilizing the ground symbolically. I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. What I do know is that today the practice is done without the rooster, or it's replaced by a wooden or plastic effigy when the performance is done in public, that is. Trying to trace the exact origin of our particular custom is a bit like following a rooster's track in the sand. It gets tricky. Geographically, some evidence may point ties to South America, Central America, yet historically and culturally it is as Creole as Funchi and Pangbati, a mixture of Amerindian, African, and European origins. Guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Links to our previous episodes, social media platforms, and and websites are in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to Djis YouTube and click that notification bell for more Snide content. As always, once a guest, always a friend.
This is your Snide tour guide, Beach Llama. Follow the man.